Your kind of mix of areas you specialize in is pretty relevant this morning. We've had an interesting start to the year for the tech sector. We've just seen Mr. Zuckerberg on the Hill. We've got the president talking about Amazon once again. How different does 2018 feel to 2017 when it comes to the tech landscape?
I think it's going to be a very interesting inflection point, particularly on the personal data field. I just wrote this article on Quads 2 days ago. I think right now regulators are very much focused on Mark Zuckerberg, how they collect data, how they use data, but nobody's talking about who should own the data. And I think the rapid developing technology, blockchain, is actually enabling individuals to own and trade data. And once we give individuals the pricing power to control our data, who to sell to, who not to sell to, what to protect, I think any company that can figure that out will be the hottest company in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I think your article is absolutely fascinating, Jennifer. The idea being that, you know, if Facebook is selling your data or if WeChat ends up selling your data, all of these companies are making money off you. Why can't you make money off your own data? How exactly would that work? I mean, do you see investment opportunities out there already that would enable that kind of thing?
I think absolutely, because data has been traded, sold, bought all the time between companies, but it's just individuals having access to the market. And I think before we didn't have the tool to enable this kind of micro-incentive, micro-transaction. But blockchain started to show some of the capabilities, and there are companies that started building protocols to enable more decentralized approach to manage personal data and trade personal data in a secure way. There are also companies using token to incentivize you to generate data. So that kind of incentive, the incentive will go to individual. I think this is going to be a big inflection point for the tech industry. When we look at the world's top 10 largest companies, majority of them really making money from have something to do with data. And is it time for us to give that power to individual? I think there will be companies start to look into this opportunity, and I think the opportunity is enormous. I can foresee that this change is about to happen.
About to happen. Jennifer, what you're basically indicating is that the valuations that are ascribed to Facebook, to Google, to Alphabet, as I should say, are wrong right now, because those are the companies that are built using this data.
I think they will come to a reflection in terms of their valuation. Once individuals start to realize, in the digital age, to own your digital property, which is your data, is as important as in 19th century owning your land. And I think this movement, once this movement starts, we will see a consolidation and reorganization of where the value resides. Is that going to reside to the largest companies, centralized collecting, harvest your data? And now we're seeing some of this large company actually using this data very irresponsibly with devastating public consequence. So I think the indication will start from, we will start to see some of the startups generating momentum perhaps later this year, enabling individuals to manage their personal data, trade their personal data. There are protocols like IOTA, like Moico, etc. They started to create this decentralized protocol, enable people to manage their own data. I think this is going to be something new, something change to watch this year and next year.
Jennifer, are there you mentioned blockchain a couple times. Are there specific blockchain developers that you're following that Radian recognizes, or are there, for example, any coins, ICOs that Radian sees that would be useful?
Sure. We don't really actively invest in ICOs because I think the investable assets in the ICO market is still very limited. But there are quite a few applications, which is where we really want to focus on. One of the issues in the market right now, everybody focuses on talking about the pricing, but we want to focus on the application. So there's a company called Otoy. It's a VR AR company. They generate special effect for movies like Avatar and Rogue One and Blade Runner, etc. They create this token called Render, basically using blockchain to access idle GPUs is a great application. This is a company we're watching very closely. There are other protocols that focus on individual data ownership, such as I mentioned IOTA, Moico, Ocean, etc. Those are the companies I really want to pay attention, because if any of them be successful, I think they have a very big chance to disrupt, what the data economy has created enormous wealth in the past 15, 20 years. So that's the best opportunity I think, we should pay attention to.
Jennifer, thank you very much indeed for spending some time with us this morning. Jennifer Zhu Scott, Radian founding principal.